We've got very different backgrounds and expertise here, so it's a great opportunity to pick some brains from very different aspects of content marketing.
I think it's key to only provide content to cut through all the noise, is to find out what your consumer is searching for. So only deliver what they need, what they're looking for. Otherwise, you're just going to get lost. And if you can target your consumer, then that's even better. You can guarantee that what you're producing is going to be seen by the right people at the right time.
Channels which you could be communicating via, and you've got your messages you want to get across, and to the different audiences you've got to be very clear on how you want to do that. And what we're seeing a lot of our clients doing, and we're doing increasingly with them, is really working out clear content roadmaps. So you're planning ahead to be very clear about those channels and the messages you want to communicate and how you're going to do that, and also how you're going to maximise the investment you're using in that content, so you can rework the content for different channels as required. Otherwise it's very easy just to sort of fly into it.
And I suppose by planning we can be clearer about what the objectives are for the content, who we're trying to reach, and that makes the content better usually, doesn't it? Giving the time to really focus on those aspects of it.
Yeah, I think it's just a question of starting off at the beginning of a year and just saying, okay, what are the key things we're going to communicate this year, and making sure it fits in with the whole broader strategy, really.
So much stuff that's published. There was something I saw recently about the Internet Minute and how you get hundreds of thousands of tweets, blog posts, YouTube videos shared every second, and standing out from the crowd is a big thing now. So it's obviously creating great content for your audience is definitely what you should be doing. I think there's also an element of making it something that can stand out. So if you've got a tweet that's been shared, it could be an amazing piece of content, but if it doesn't look appealing, no one will click it. And thinking about headlines, doing your research behind, we use a tool called BuzzSumo quite a lot, where it shows you the social shares behind popular content. So if you can learn from what's worked in the past within your sector, there's a lot of things you could bring into the content you're creating as well.
Anything to add to that?
I'll be a bit controversial and say actually there's so much noise out there that I think brands should make more noise. And if you think about this sort of newsfeed mentality that a lot of social channels have these days, if you're not there often and frequent, you're going to be missed. So we tend to look at big brand campaigns very differently to content that's more frequent and snackable. And that means for brands like Thomas Cook, where we run their Club 1830 brand, which is a huge laugh. You should have a look. We produce a show every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, all original content, mostly driven by the people who are out there on holidays and the reps. But really it's a case of giving consumers content touch points throughout the week. They're not all going to be there all the time. A lot of them will miss it. So yes, it's sort of sweating the content you've got, but also making sure you're there at the right time at the right place.
I heard Alexander, who was speaking at our summit, the CMA summit last year, was saying how Instagram and Facebook are looking for thumb-stoppingly good content. So the idea, we thumb through content rapidly now, don't we, on feeds and mobile devices.
And I think mobile's the key thing as well, because if you think about reading a long article, you're probably not going to do it there and then. Like I would add quite a lot of stuff to pocket and maybe read it on the tube.
Or not, maybe never read it.
Or maybe not, which happens a lot as well. But if it's something that's very mobile friendly, it's more likely to grab people's interest.
I mean, Del, if you don't mind, you were speaking beforehand about how on Snapchat and Instagram you have quite, if you like, agile content. You'll pick up pictures, as they happen.
Absolutely. So, with the greatest will in the world, we can't always plan everything into our content schedule. So we need to be more reactive. We don't have an in-house sort of production team. So what you will find is members of my team filming things on like Boomerang or posting it natively on Instagram, because we don't have the luxury of planning it in. We don't know that, for example, something's going to be a hair trend in July. So if we see something online, we can be very reactive. On Instagram, I think this week we've had our most popular post ever, and it's a 4-second video showing you how to do a Scandi wave, which we filmed in our boardroom. So we don't always need
with a mobile phone.
With an iPad.
Okay.
So it doesn't always have to be that kind of that high production value, and that's what we're seeing. I guess the benefit of working in beauty is that everything's very tutorial led. So everything we'll do will be showing you how to create something, and the simpler the better. We don't need to have any jump cuts, taking you from, oh, you've started straightening your hair here, and then all of a sudden your hair's done. Women want to see it, so we'll always we'll time lapse, or we'll do just shorter videos to show techniques. Because we're talking to our consumer, but we're also talking to professional hairdressers as well.
Yeah. I guess it's just. I think it's interesting what you were saying about needing to be reactive and agile as well at the same time, and I think that's just as true in the B2B space as it will be in a consumer space as well. Yeah. And you need to have that balance so you're ready to work in those ways.
And on something like Snapchat, it's early days, but you're looking at views at the moment, are you, and seeing it?
Yeah, it's views at the moment, and I think hope moving forward we'll sort of take inspiration and run a few like discount codes or promos, or drive people to maybe a hidden part of the site which you only have access to if you know that it exists on Snapchat.
And coupons you mentioned.
Absolutely.
So those kinds of things where you can judge whether it was driven by Snapchat. Yeah.